Hey all, this is Matt from the Systema Academy. This is a bit of a first look at the new Academy. Still in progress, but we're getting closer. And something we've been doing recently is some exercises and some classes on how to improve your quality of movement. It's something we talk about in Systema quite a bit, that the movement is less about the external components of how it looks, you know, which foot's here, which hand's there, for example, and more about the internal quality of it, you know, how much strain there is in your movement, how much pressure build up, how much tension, how much breath holding. And obviously for your endurance, for your smoothness of movement, and for your health too, to have a movement that's of a high quality with those internal aspects makes a big difference. So you can take basically any movement. So for example, if I take a simple going from sitting to lying down kind of movement, and then from lying down back to sitting up kind of movement. So if we take something simple like that, you know, it could be this way, could be push-up, sit-up, squat, leg raise, doesn't really matter, but take a movement. And then what you want to do is try and compare and contrast how you feel when you're not moving. So like in this position, I'll kind of take an internal reading. It doesn't have to be scientific where you take your heart rate and things, but you know, how easy my breath is flowing, the level of strain in my body, the level of pressure in my body. You know, we often think about a couple of key things like your breathing rate, your heart rate, your blood pressure, your muscle tension, tone, and your emotional state. And I'll take a reading now of those things. And then I'll see how much that changes as I start to move. And ideally, there's very little change. So internally, if I can stay connected to my internal state rather than the external movement, I see what sort of change there is. I get that can be quite tricky in the beginning. So what you can do then, like if you notice I was talking the whole time, you can either have a continual talk. So if you're with a partner, you can talk to each other as you move, and you'll hear those internal changes in your voice. So for example, if I build up a lot of pressure in the movement, then I'll hear it in my voice, and as I come back up. So if there's a lot of strain and pressure, I'll hear it straight away in my voice. Another way you can do it is to do a count, but it needs to be, whether it's conversation or count, it needs to be continuous. If there's stops and gaps in it, then you can hide the strain in the stops and gaps. So if I was going to count, it would be something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So you notice I ran one number into the next, kind of right the way through, and that's a really good check. Or you have that conversation. If you do it with gaps, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, then in those gaps, that's where I can hide the strain. Another really good check, and this is a final check, is to do a number of those movements on a breath hold. And that'll really challenge you, because if you're putting a lot of strain and effort into it, you'll run out of air quite quick. So, like for example, pick a movement and you can try and do sort of 10 of them on a breath hold and see how you get on. So that would be something like this. So you take a couple of breaths, relax yourself, set yourself. Make sure that you're at a good base state, and then you'll take a breath in, exhale a little bit, and then hold. then check how you feel afterwards. So if you're, like if you can't get through it, so that was like 10, which is kind of a medium to hard level, really, depending on your familiarity with the movement, then that's a really good check. So give that a go, let me know your thoughts. If you've got any questions, post in the comments below. All right, have a great day. Thanks. Bye.